I'm in somebody is in Calabar or Kano.
Okay, I was trying to answer.
I'm in Lagos.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a writer, or and the person wants my book. How does the person get my book? Apart from accessing online to get that book, how else?
Okay.
In Nigeria.
Okay, in Nigeria, I would have said a bookstore suffice. But then, how many bookstores exist in an average state in Nigeria? For instance, in Calabar, I'm sure a major bookstore that would, boast of that any book distributor want to get associated with would be one that is in the state capital. And then there are so many people in other parts of Calabar, aside from Cross River and all of those places. So eventually, it's all about how aggressive you are about your marketing and ensuring that the book is in the faces of people. I believe beyond bookstores, we can begin to leverage on hairdressing salons. You can begin to leverage on, barbing salons and any other place at all that generates traffic and people, basically, because the whole idea is to encourage reading culture in general. And a lot of times you mention some Nigerian authors, and an average Nigerian do not know them. They would rather, tell you about the foreign ones and all of that. So it's about being aggressive.
So can I come in? The question and your answers, I kind of got lost in between the answers and the question.
Yeah, because I was going to say that it's challenging. It's quite challenging for people across the country getting books.
Okay, sure.
Is that correct? So can we then say that perhaps the primary problem in Nigeria is not the reading culture, like we are always quick to say? Yeah, we do have a reading culture problem, but beyond that, maybe we've got a serious distribution problem that stops people from having access to books easily.
Yes, we can say that. Because even the online access to be mentioned, some cases, even after placing online, it doesn't get to them because of the logistics involved. So that's one. Then, secondly, the costs of taking it to the individual, like maybe where they are. I mean, Ikeja, for instance, and somebody in Badagry needs a book, or someone in Ibadan. How do I get to the person on time? So it's not. There's no straight. There are no straight answers to them.
There are serious problems.
There are serious problems, and the solution for A cannot work for B. Like what we do is, like for authors, we say come to us, and then we'll push your book out there. We'll leverage on the existing logistic platforms, and then we'll find a way to get it to you. Okay. So that's what we do. We know the difficulty in just going to a bookstore or just going online and getting it. So that's okay. This is what we do. You want to push your book out there, come. You want to get a particular book, contact us, and then we'll get it to you.
Tobi, people read fiction more than non-fiction in Nigeria, and then do you distribute more of academic books than non-academic books? Okay.
Sincerely, in my opinion, I would say Nigerians typically read non-fiction because mostly you find out that non-fictions are more accessible to a typical Nigerian. You would agree with me that if you walk into a popular car park or garage, you're traveling somewhere outside of your typical area of residence, you would definitely be able to pick up a self-motivational book that you want to read, and everybody wants the how-to motivation.
How to make money.
Exactly, how to make money.
Becoming rich.
I mean, you would definitely agree with me. So yes, I'll give it up to the non-fiction. Nigerians typically want to read a non-fiction. However, I won't dispute the place of the audience or the readers who just want to relax through the pages of a book, and they will still want to go the fiction route and all of that. Then aside from that, for academic books, they are pretty much in circulation because so many people want to read them, maybe out of obligation. Of course, we are all about certificates, degree, and all of that, and it's pretty much very compulsory for you to buy them. So eventually, Nigerians do a lot of non-fiction, academic books mostly.
Okay. Ada, schools come to you and they say, can you supply X number of books? What has been your observation? Schools in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Let's say literature books, for example. Do they do more of foreign literature books in Nigerian schools or more of local literature books?
I don't want to limit it to just literature books. on the average,
Books generally.
books generally, they do more foreign books.
Schools in Nigeria.
Schools in Nigeria do more foreign books. Maybe these government schools will stick to local books or Nigerian books, but private schools, they request for foreign books, and that's also killing the.
That's a consistent observation you've made.
Yes.
Mostly foreign books. So
Mostly
what happens when do you then suggest to them local authors and so on? How
Yes,
do they
yeah,
respond?
we do. We try to introduce local authors, but they know there's this perception that local authors are not good enough, they're not known enough, their works have not been accepted. It's as if an institution has to sanction it, or a body has to seal it that this is approved for before they can. So at our level, it's not. It's still quite a challenge to just push it out there. For individual, it works, but for schools, maybe it's a policy that can be.
Is that something to be worried about?
Yes, it's a cause for worry, if you ask me, because I definitely believe that a lot still needs to be done in creating awareness and ensuring that people are conscious of the fact that, you know, fantastic work of art are being produced locally by Nigerian authors, and there's absolutely nothing stopping us from exploring them and integrating them into our curriculum in Nigeria. I think it's just a general perception an average person has concerning anything foreign, if you believe it's way better and all of that. And the reality of our times actually proves to us that there's really a need for us to start, you know, incorporating made in Nigerian products. And then it's also a clarion call for many of Nigerian authors to start upping them games in terms of editing, ensuring that you're putting out quality content out there, so much so that you're proud to be associated with your work. And then many of these schools are willing to incorporate them as well into their curriculum. So a lot needs to be done.
In addition to that, and the authors too should be proud of their work. They should ready to advertise and put it out there. A lot of them just do the work and sit down and just leave it for the publishers and the distributors to do the showcase for them.
Okay.
They're not even proud of their own works.
Do we have, that's a very serious issue. I mean, one that needs to be looked at seriously. I'm sure with the current, like you said, the current situation, importing books now will be very, very expensive.
It's not attractive.
So maybe this might wake us up.
Yes, it's a good call. I hope it's an opportunity for us to look inwards, let the right institution be put in place, support the manufacturing, the publishing houses, so that more authors can print inwards rather than print outside the country.
No. Sorry,
okay, yeah, and then most importantly, I think government should more or less ensure that how do I put it now, the printing industry comes back to life. There's absolutely nothing wrong with us putting a little bit of what's the name, less tariff on the cost of bringing in papers into Nigeria. At least for now, we know our, you know, paper industry is more or less totally dead right now. It's absolutely nothing to write home about. I know. So if there's less tariff or what's the name, excess duty on the cost of bringing in paper, at least that way the cost of books will be pretty much on the low side, and an average Nigerian can afford to get a book eventually. Because if you're talking about the sales of book, you are very much concerned about the price of many of those books. Let's ensure that, you know, the stakeholders that are involved try in, you know, ensuring that a book gets out there.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thank you very much. It's been nice having this chat with you.
Thank you for having us.